Hi, and welcome to I Do Canals. I'm Karen, this is Simon, and we're here today to talk about Siddington Locks. Well, he is. I'm just here.
You don't do a lot of talking, do you?
No.
Well, off camera she does a lot of talking.
No, I do a lot of horsing about.
And she tells me off a lot. Anyway, Siddington Locks, here we are. So this is lock number 2. Or this is the upper gates of lock number 2. And right here between our feet is the sluice paddle mechanism space. The mechanism went here. You'd have cranked your handle up here somewhere, lifted up the paddle, another one over that side, allowed the water into the lock, filled it up, boat in, opposite procedure at the other end. In principle, they're still structurally sound. There's a lot of work required to get them back working again, but lock number 4 has a house built on it, doesn't it?
It does.
I don't think we're going to get the canals, the Cotswold Canal Trust to build this back up to here unless they reroute it. What do you reckon?
I don't think the owner's going to do that. I wouldn't.
They're not going to move the house, are they? So, you know, if the canal does get back up here again, it's via a little detour. And we are quite some way away from where they're working now. They're doing lots of work over in Stroud. There's the Sapperton Tunnel, which is over 3,000 yards long, and it's collapsed. So lots of work, 15, 20 years maybe, till they get going again up here. But meanwhile, it's interesting to have a look at the locks. We're going to get down inside them. We're going to get right in underneath the sill, which has been extended. We're going to have a look at the bridge. There's some rope grooves where the horses have pulled ropes through. We're going to have a really good look around. Come on, why not come with us?
The Thames and Severn Canal opened for business in 1789, 10 years after the Stroud Water Canal opened. The canal is 28.7 miles in length and had 44 locks. It was built to complete an inland waterways route between London, the West Midlands and Bristol, running from Wallbridge in Stroud to the River Thames at Lechlade on Thames. The canal was constantly affected by water leakage. Leakage was caused by water springs breaking through the clay that lined the canal. In summer, when the springs stopped, water was lost through the holes at a greater rate than it was replaced. Railway competition began in 1836, and this resulted in significant loss of traffic. The decline came to a head by the end of the 1900s. Most of the canal was abandoned by 1927, and all of it by 1941. In an attempt to conserve water, the locks were reduced by 20 feet in length, and this gives them the unusual double-headed appearance. There has been lots of restoration since 1972 by what is today called the Cotswold Canal Trust. Lottery funding and matched funding has been provided, but lots more is required. Work continues largely by volunteers on several sections of the canal, plus the Stroud Water Canal.
This is inside lock number 2. From lock bed to the top is close to, so I'd say 16, 18 feet. And here were the lower gates, wide beam locks, and there's not much left. There's a bit of a beam here. There's nothing over this side. There's some wrought iron, big bolts that we used to hold it in place. You don't often get the chance to stand inside a lock and look at how it's been built and get a real understanding of how they're used and how they work. The principle of locks goes back a long, long way, and they developed over the years to what you see today in all sorts of situations on existing canals, on redundant canals, and even the brand new modern day ones that are electrically operated on places like the River Thames. This one, of course, was manual. You got up there and you cranked a handle, and you opened up, as far as the bottom was concerned, you opened up a couple of big paddles about this size, which covered a hole kind of like this, and they lifted up and they let all the water out. Your boat came down and off you went. Coming in the other way, you sailed your boat in, closed the gates, making sure the paddles are shut, and you'd open up the paddles at the top end. We'll look at the sluice ports in a moment or two, and then of course the water would fill back up. And one of the biggest problems of canals pretty much anywhere is water supply. There are a few that run alongside rivers, And in fact, the Kennet and Avon is one of those, but upstream, it's a problem. You get downstream, there's plenty of water flow. Little canals like this were quite high up, had to be fed by horse-powered pumps and later on steam pumps. Lots of boats back and forth sent a whole lock full of water down every time, whether the boat was going up or going down, didn't matter. And it was getting that water back and keeping the canal in good working order. Let's go take a look at that underneath. We'll explain what that is. This is the extended sill. They shortened the locks by about 16 or 18 feet simply by changing the masonry and being able to bring the lock gates further forward and saving an awful lot of water. But of course they had to modify the sill in order to do this as well. And this great big chunk of masonry here, there's a big hollow underneath here of about 16 foot, and you can see the sluice gate inlet ports built as thick as this to accommodate as much space as possible and thereby less water loss. And it worked for a good while, but unfortunately, like a lot of the other canals in the country, it went into the way of decay, and this is how we find it today. Oh my word, this is Lock 1, and it's seriously overgrown. I feel a bit like David Bellamy in here. So here we are in the thick of the Siddington forest. It's fully overgrown with reeds and trees all over the place. But anyway, back to normality. So over the years, this lock has just become so overgrown, you can hardly see it. There's a bit of a bridge over here. All the stonework is intact, but really dug away and eroded by trees and rainfall and everything else over the years. Quite a shame. You literally can't see more than about 15 feet beyond, it's so thick. Anyway, let's go down that way. So take a look at this. This is where the ropes pulling narrowboats and barges up and down the canal, as they pull around and the rope grooves and cuts into the stonework. It's a very common thing to find on many canals around the country. As the ropes picked up bits of grit and sand, it only helped to cut even more into the stonework. And sometimes you can see it's right the way in. At the far end of the Oxford Canal, where it joins the Coventry, you've the same thing, but into metal. That's how abrasive it is. And, of course, it's indicative of how many horses were pulling ropes through to make this happen like this. And we're going to find out as much information as we possibly can about it. Welcome here. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Why did I say goodbye? That was an outtake. I'm getting a look that says, ugh. The only last time you looked at me like that, you had a plastic horse's head on your head, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it's around here somewhere.
I like that one. Did you like that one?
I did.
What?
One problem.
Oh yeah.
Why is the camera facing that way?
The lens is facing us.
Oh, fair enough.
It's the viewfinder.
Oh. Okay.
We'll have that in the outtakes as well. Take 36. Seems that way, doesn't it? Shall we try?
Again.
Let's try. Happy smiles. Smiley at the camera. Not over. No, there we go. Thanks very much for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it about Siddington Locks. It's just starting to get dark, so we put a bit of a light on so you can see us properly. We've had lots of fun, haven't we? We have. She had a bigger part this time. Last time she was just fooling around with a horse's head. We enjoyed that. I did. You had a carrot afterwards.
I had a good carrot, and I like my carrot.
She likes her carrots. Wee. Right.
It makes me see.
Anyway, if you'd like to see more of our videos, hit the subscribe button. What else do we want them to do?
And hit the like button.
Where's the like button?
I don't know. Oh, down there.
We do that again. So I hope you've enjoyed our video about Siddington Locks. We've had a lot of fun, haven't we? Actually, right up your nose. Lovely horse, really is. Eats a lot of sugar, And but you've got to go behind with a shovel. There's a lot of that, but you never mind. Anyway, so if you've enjoyed the video, thanks very much for watching our video about Siddington Locks. We're in the village of Siddington. We've had a lovely day. It's starting to get dark, so we put a light on. But you've enjoyed yourself?
I have.
You had a bigger part this time. She actually had some words to say, didn't you?
I did.
Which is very unusual for Karen, because normally she's very quiet. Except when I get home and then she tells me off a lot. But listen, if you've enjoyed our video, please push the subscribe button. That'll tell you when we're having more. And what else do we want to do?
And the like button.
And hit the like button as well. Because we like doing it, and hopefully you like watching as well. Make some comments. Keep them nice and clean. Nothing rude. We're amateurs at this, but we're getting there and we're getting better. Come again. We'll see you soon. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.